Hello everyone and welcome. And today I'm going to be talking about past lives. And this is a past life which I've described as somewhere in the Indian Ocean. And first of all, I should explain that this is done. We retrieve past lives through a thing called QHHT, which is quantum hypnosis. And that retrieves parts of your subconscious that you have long pushed into the deep, dark recesses of your subconscious, of your soul. And I keep trying to explain to people that this life we're having, it's a soul that is having a human experience. We're not humans having a soul experience. So, without much ado, I'll begin. And this is called Somewhere in the Indian Ocean. I could see turquoise blue, but it was very blurry. There's no definition. And I turned to my left. I then saw an enormous beak of what I assumed to be a squid, mouth wide open. And I felt like I was about to be eaten. And I think for a short time I was inside the squid's mouth, and it then became dark all around me. I think it then got rid of me and spat me out. So I have a feeling that I am in very, very blue, turquoisey water. And I'm seeing what I think are bubbles, like bubbles rising all around me. The reality, I believe, is that it's possible that it was steam vents from underwater volcanoes. And these would be the bubbles rising to the surface. So at this point, the therapist who takes the QHHT session with me then asks me, "What are you wearing on your feet?" So I'm aware that I'm looking down and I think, what? To my utter shock and surprise, I realise I have no feet. There aren't any feet. How on earth do I get around? I then see two faces coming up to me like this, coming up from under the water, swimming towards me. And they're young spear fishermen. I can see their spears. Both of them are very black-skinned, and neither did not appear to have any clothing on either. So they must have sort of looked to see inside me if I had a pearl. And I am then shown the pearl in my visuals. So I think that I am fairly young. And I believe at this point that I am some kind of shell. So perhaps this pearl they'll come and retrieve another time. So I look down to my side and I see a tube. And this tube is doing this, in and out, in and out. And it's letting bubbles out as well. And I think that must be the way I breathe. So I realise I am probably a bivalve clam, something of that nature. I appear to have, or I feel as though I have a consciousness. And it doesn't involve fear, but observation and an acceptance as well of whatever is forthcoming, that I know the fishermen are looking at me, but I don't have an understanding of why. I don't feel fear. I think as a human, if we were to look at something with a huge beak gaping at us like a squid, we would feel fear, but I felt no fear. So then I see one suckered tentacle of an octopus, and it's moving over me, across me. And there must also be soft corals around me because I could feel them doing this, like ferny type corals. I then am aware of a very bright light. So I'm feeling that it must be daytime. And this light is moving across. It's perhaps like the passage of the sun moving overhead. And I'm really blinded by it because I'm used to the darkness of the ocean floor. And it's arcing across the sky. It's going from left to right. And I couldn't look directly at this light. It was blinding. So I'm now in shallow water. And I can see the two fishermen sitting on their haunches. They're sitting in front of me, their backs to me. They are talking to each other. And they're looking across, looks like a lagoon area, towards a sandbar that's in front of them. It's all very blue and it's really hot. And the sand is pure white, very, very bright. I'm then aware of an older woman, and she's got long, grey, curly hair. I can see this hair hanging down, and her face is, she leans down in front of these two fishermen, and it looks like she's angry with them. It looks like she's annoyed and she's remonstrating with them. And I can only see one half of her face. I don't know what she's arguing with the fisherman about, but she appears to be annoyed. And I can then see a turtle, and it's propped upright with a stick that's horizontal through its belly. And I think she's annoyed and berating them both. And she's pointing at the turtle. She's really angry with them. But I don't know. Perhaps they've caught it and it was too young. Or maybe they were too slow in bringing it home to share for the feast. And there's a possibility, of course, that the turtle is not a legitimate food. They're not bothered by her at all. I feel as though that this place, wherever it is in the middle of the Indian Ocean. Partly because the sun is directly above me and overhead, so I think it's kind of equatorial. The sky is really, really blue without cloud, and the sand is pure white and very powdery, very white, powdery silica type of sand. My thought was it was maybe in the Maldives area. I looked on a map and pulled a map out and thought Seychelles maybe. It seemed too far south. The Andaman Islands or India, and that seemed wrong. That seemed too far north. So I think that I am having the life of a clam, a bivalve clam. And it appears to be a short life and, well, to be honest, incredibly interesting life. Nothing much happens in the life of a clam. So the therapist then moves me forward towards the end of my life. So I think I have been eaten. I think I've been someone's dinner. And now there's just the remains of a shell. I have been discarded in the sand. And I feel as if I am almost like a fossil. It's a very dry land. I'm not on the ocean floor anymore. And the ground, it has fissures and cracks in it. And I'm sitting in the wall of one of these fissures. And along comes a river of liquid fire, and it seems to engulf me, and I then become greyness after that. And I think that's the end of the life of a clam. And my thoughts were perhaps that was lava from a volcano. So I have no idea of the time period of this at all. I do believe it is my earliest existence of a life. And I have been told that I may be from Mu, which may be better known to many of you as Atlantis. Perhaps that's where this island was located. Certainly when I've looked up the origins of where they think Atlantis is, it fits. The location fits. So not all lives, as we lead to believe normally are as human beings. We have existed as living things, many different types of living things, be it animal, bird, marine life, trees, or even rocks. And this probably was the first preparation for me, for my soul, to have a human experience. And I just remind you again that we are not humans having a soul experience, we are souls having a human experience. And in that particular occasion, I was a soul having a living experience as a marine life. So I hope you enjoyed that. And if you did, please put any comments you have in the box below. I'd love to hear from you. These are great, these past lives. They are amazing. They teach us so much. So thank you, my friends. Thank you for watching. If you would please like and subscribe. Thank you. Take care and just have a great time. Okay, bye for now.